Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Operation C. In the first video, we took on the first 3 areas of the game, somehow managed to keep the homing gun on us, and now it's time to take on areas 4 and 5. And if you couldn't already tell by the setting, we're kinda in enemy domain now, like really in enemy domain now. We no longer really have any soldiers in this second top-down stage. We now have these worms and these little spiders that come out of the bigger egg sac looking things with the holes in the centers. You need not necessarily shoot at the bigger egg sacs, but it does kind of help a little bit, so you can kind of shoot down the little spider-like enemies that come out of them. You also have these worm enemies which will pop out of the little holes in the walls every so often. Want to keep an eye out for those things. And having the homing shot or the spread shot will work really well here, because you never know what might get you. And you can take either the left side or the right. I recommend taking the left side because you're going to have more room that way. And I'm going to let that power-up fly by. Now, if you don't shoot those larger egg sacs, they will explode when you move close enough to them. And that's when the spiders are going to get you. So you want to be ready, kind of stand still to take those things out. And then you got these things that just come in and out of the walls there. Now thankfully the larger egg sacs will not really spawn enemies, at least not most of the time anyway, because you're going to have like too many sprites at one time. Now thankfully all you have to do to avoid the things that come out of the wall, those little spiked looking things, is just wait for it to move back before you move forward. And if you're far enough away, they won't be that much of a problem, in all honesty. But you may want to give it like 1 or 2 thrusts towards the center of the area here, just to be safe. Near the end, you'll see 2 at a time. Then you'll see 3 come at you. If you know what you're doing, those things are pretty easy to get past. And then you got this huge spider. You will be moving around a lot and aiming diagonally to take out the projectiles and also to avoid said projectiles. But the main problem is the laser. And they especially become problematic when you do more damage to the spider and the spider starts moving faster. Holy heck! Did I seriously just beat the boss that fast? That thing barely got started! You guys never really saw a chance to move it super fast, but it does. Just pay attention to when and anticipate when it's going to shoot the projectiles, and stay close to the center to avoid the lasers that bounce off the walls. And you should be fine. Hopefully. Now we got these guys running towards us again from both the left and right side of the screens. You want to move back to avoid the turrets that shoot diagonally down towards the floor. If you have the homing gun, this is a lot easier. If you don't have the homing gun, do yourself a favor, do not collect any power-ups in this stage. Just stick to the default machine gun / rapid fire, whatever you want to call it, and use that to jump up and hit the guns. You're going to have a harder time hitting these things if you have the fire gun or the spread gun. That's just by my experience, though. Your mileage may vary, but I recommend not carrying the spread gun or the fire gun. And you also got these things that are coming out of the tubes as well, and you've got to be ready for them as well. And there's also a fireball power-up ready to trick you into accidentally grabbing it. Thankfully, it landed on that platform, so I don't have to worry about it. And when you get up here, you want to make sure you kind of recenter yourself, so that way you don't have problems with the camera. And aiming up and forwards will definitely take care of these little alien-like creatures. Also do not want the spread gun. And I do want to stop for a moment so that way I can better utilize the spread gun. Not the spread gun, but the homing gun while I'm here. There we go. I am making this stage look a lot easier than it actually is. And I thought I was going to get hit by one of the, by the cannon fire from the ceiling turrets there, but thankfully that was not the case. And now we're reaching another elevator. Once you get in the elevator, you want to jump once to get this thing to start moving. Only fire when there are enemies on the screen. And when you see these things that shoot the lasers, duck until they fire both lasers. Being quiet here because this part's going to drive me nuts, I reckon. This one's going to come out late. Call that. And this time, more than 2 soldiers are probably going to come out. Nope. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think this one, they will. And this one's going to come out too, I think. That should be the last of it. Good. Just keep firing to take out that last alien that comes out of the tube there. You should be good. And once you're here, you got a lot of ceiling turrets that were ready to shoot at you. Remember, if you lose the homing gun at any time, don't get any power-ups. Just stick to the basic rapid-fire default shot. And you got these things that will shoot these little sacks at you. You will be moving back and forth and aiming diagonally with any other gun if you don't have homing shot. Otherwise, the homing gun will be doing all the work. And it's the first, the fourth, and the sixth of these things. These little domes in the ceiling that will shoot at you. The rest of them are completely static. And once you're here, you'd better be ready to fight. Because this is the final boss. You'll move to the right. You want to jump over the last missile. When he moves to the right and you move to the left, you want to jump over the second missile. Now if you hear that near sound, you want to duck. And then you want to duck again when he shoots the missiles again. They always do claw missiles, and you want to be ready to duck when he's floating in midair between missiles, between missile salvos, so that way the claws don't hit you. And now you got these little barriers that get in your way as soon as you beat the final boss. If you see a pair of barriers, wait for the first one to go down, then move forward. And here, just hold the fire button to destroy the alien cell. Congratulations, you have beaten Operation C for the Game Boy. One of the easier, earlier Contra titles in the series history. Sit back and relax as you watch Lance, or Bean, or Bill Reiser, if you're playing the Japanese version, get out of here, blow this place up, and get out on the copter. You play as Lance Bean if you're playing on the Western version. If you're playing on the Eastern version, you're playing as Bill Reiser. I don't know why they changed the character's name. It's not really... It's kind of irrelevant because this is only one player. But, yeah. This is Operation C for Game Boy. Rather short game. The graphics, the sound, the music, the controls, they're kind of what you expect from Konami from the time. You can kind of tell what you're shooting at. Even if you have to be under a light fixture to see what's going on the Game Boy, because this did come out in 1991 after all. The sound and music are kind of what you expect from Konami. Everything sounds great, the music really gets into the action. The play control's kind of tight. My only drawback is how the homing gun works, but if you can stop shooting for a second, you can kind of fix whatever problems you have with it. And other than just going through the game again, because the game does loop, I believe it does get harder. There's really not much of a reason to play the game again, but it is good for an hour's worth of entertainment in case you're extremely bored. I should also mention that this game only lets you continue twice. If you use both continues and you game over again, you will get kicked back to the title screen. You will get kicked back to the Ultra Games copyright screen, and you will have to play the game all over again to get back to where you left off. So the game can be a little, I guess you could say, unfair or off-putting by that. But if you give this game a chance, this game can be fun. No doubt about it. So I do recommend this for your collection in case you're looking for physical copies. Well, why not? Why not pick it up? I mean, it'll last you about an hour, maybe 30 minutes if you know what you're doing. It's fun to beat it with the homing gun. It's fun to try to beat it without it. Though it can be difficult if you try to beat the game without it. And even though it's not the greatest game in the world, it is made by Konami. You know there's going to be at least some effort in being put into it, being that this is from the late 80s and early 90s, and from the time when the Game Boy was still a relatively new thing, and it can be a lot of fun. So go get it if you can. But anyway, that's it for Let's Play Operation C. Hopefully I'll come back with another game. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Can't even speak to save my life. I can't even remember how I even finished these videos. Wow. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.